The worst October for layoffs in 22 years. Hey, I know this place. You know what I did just like a month and a half ago? I went here to look at the corpse flower bloom. You know, like a corpse flower, those like really big flowers that stink really bad. They have one in the basement, and it bloomed for like a couple of days. So we went and saw it. How'd it smell? Pretty bad. Was pretty cool though. It's a flower the size of a human being. I mean, in the basement? I guess it was the lobby, not the basement. We didn't really have to go down. Announced job cuts last month climbed by more than 153,000. Up 175% from the same month a year earlier. Jesus Christ. Now is not a good time to quit your job, folks. I'm really sorry. Or be careful if you do. The highest total for a single month in the fourth quarter since 2008. And because of the shutdown, we're missing data too. The September jobs report, which was scheduled for October 3rd, hasn't been released, and there will not be an October jobs report this month. It was originally scheduled for Friday. That has made it difficult for economic policymakers, such as Federal Reserve officials, to make important decisions. Well, didn't the Bureau of Labor Statistics say they were going to switch to quarterly instead of monthly? If I remember correctly, the suggestion that they switched to quarterly was met with so much backlash from the international business community that they walked it back. We think it would be good and based and red-pilled for the American economy if investors had less data with which to make their investments. Yeah, that'll play over well with the capital class. No one's hiring right now, too. I feel doomed. Listen, buddy, okay? Maybe. No, listen, you got this, okay? It's not like we're at 10% unemployment or anything, okay? You just have to be better than, like, 1 in 10 guys. Have you met people on the street? You can meet that bar. Yeah, boot the straps. Thanks, Fosh. You're welcome. My pleasure. Oh yeah, speaking of the fucking economy, OpenAI has been making arguments that they're too big to fail. So as we all know, the entire economy is AI data centers now. And that's the only place where there's any growth, and everything else is collapsing in on itself. We are in a recession. But Sam Altman recently said, I'm trying to find the link. Sam Altman said that he thinks that the government has to be like the ultimate final provider for security and stability. I need to find this. Hold on. It's actually really important. We're already reaching the too big to fail.
Some level when something gets sufficiently huge.
Is it true that Sam Altman like molested his sister or so? There's like a lot of fucked up stuff about him, right? I mostly focus on the whole he's the Antichrist thing, but he also like his sister like a bunch and ruined her life or something like that. Because some people in chat don't know what I'm talking about, and some people in chat seem to think I thought he was gay. He's Hitler. He can be gay and fuck his sister.
Huge, whether or not they are on paper. The federal government is kind of the insurer of last resort, as we've seen in various financial crises and insurance companies screwing things up. So I guess, given the magnitude of what I expect AI economic impact to look like, sort of, I do think the government ends up as like the insurer of last resort, but I think I mean that in a different way than you mean that, and I don't expect them to.
What he's talking about here is a bailout. What he's saying is that if the AI bubble is a bubble, which it is, if it collapses, he's saying the government should be responsible for making him whole. Of course, at this point, the big eight, you know, the big like AI, like Nvidia, Microsoft, and so on, if there's a big cratering of their value, the government literally could not afford to bail them out. We're talking like 10 trillion. Yeah, the bubble's unimaginably large. It would be significantly more expensive than the post 2008 like banking failures. Here's a gift article on the Altman allegations. Okay, I don't need to get too into the specifics on how the Antichrist raped his younger sister, allegedly, or you know, according to this article. They're all asking for it at OpenAI. Sarah Fryer says the AI giant could reach break even quickly and would like government backstop on data center investments. Jesus. Yeah, okay. David Sachs has already said there won't be bailouts. Well, I mean, that's just David Sachs. He's just a guy. But also, I know there won't be bailouts because the country literally, in order to bail, okay, we literally could not, the Federal Reserve would not agree to print the amount of money that you would need to do a bailout, and we could never sell enough treasury debt to do a bailout. We know. Can you imagine that congressional session? Like Congress jerks itself raw, shutting down the government over raising the spending limit by like what, a trillion or two. Can you imagine the congressional session arguing over raising the debt limit by like or the debt ceiling by $20 trillion? Jesus Christ. It's all the money in the world, man. Blood, you're forgetting about the $1 trillion platinum coin. Trump would push for that. Trump would push for that. Anyway, yeah. Everyone knows that we're in a bubble, obviously. Like the AI data center, this whole craze is purely a financial instrument. Nobody actually knows or cares about their potential beyond that. It's meaningless. However, that doesn't mean they're not going to try to rip you off for more money. Speaking of like the financialization of this, guess which two AI companies merged or did a deal recently? Polymarket and Google. They're going to be integrating the Polymarket gambling odds, the ones who are lying about the odds in order to spice up betting for the Mamdani race, into your Google searches. This is why there's been so much forced AI integration everywhere, even though it objectively worsens the products that you use and nobody actually likes using it. People might choose to download, I don't know, Grok or chat GPT or whatever, but no one likes the forced AI. People don't like it when any of their UI changes at all. People, as a general rule, people don't like change. These mergers and this integration is being done purely for financial reasons. It's to play up the usefulness of these products to investors who don't actually use them. Snap and Perplexity also announced a deal today. Perplexity will integrate its AI-powered search engine directly into the Snapchat app. And remember, by the way, when you hear shit like $400 million deal, please remember that that is not two companies exchanging a briefcase with $400 million in it. What's actually happening is that they're both meeting in a closed room where they're like, okay, so what if we both exchange shares? And we'll both make money, even if one of us pays out more in share value than the other, because the share price increase from both of our companies will be enough to cover the cost of the exchange we're doing. It's all GDP puffery. It's the reason why we're technically not in a recession right now, even though in practice we absolutely are. They're also integrating Kalshi into Google as well. Kalshi and Polymarket? What, every time you search, it's going to look like the System Shock 1 UI all around the best casserole recipes. People having epileptic fits because of the insane flashing. Yeah, it's going to be Cruelty Squad UI. Jesus Christ. Rip Las Vegas, a major casualty of all this online betting. Well, we take the good with the bad. Look at the breaking news header. Musk's $1 trillion pay plan. That's not surprising to me. If anything, that's proportional to the degree to which Tesla's share value has been overinflated. They've always agreed to give Elon bajillions of dollars for no reason. They've always been like that. Tesla shareholders, for the most part, are ideologues. God, he looks like shit. The relationship between his shirt collar and his jacket collar is the relationship between him and any woman he hasn't paid. Avoid. Look at that. What's with the System Shock shade? Who the f said it was shade, dog? Have you played System Shock 1? It has a bunch of UI bullshit all around the screen. That's just a fact. That's just a fact of the game. I love System Shock 1. I think I might like System Shock 1 like one tiny little nugget less than System Shock 2. Play Planetscape Torment. Subscribe to my website. Q. Why does he keep trying to grow a beard? I just think he forgets to shave. Why would shareholders want to give this goober $1 trillion? That's $1 trillion not invested into the company or paid as dividends. I think there are a few reasons for it. For one, a lot of these shareholders are ideologues who genuinely think that Elon Musk is going to get us to Mars. Seriously, we know this. They're stupid. For two, I think they're hoping that if Elon has a very lucrative share-based pay package from Tesla, he'll focus on Tesla and not on being a Nazi on Twitter. Because Tesla shareholders have long been upset that Elon spends so much of his time managing Twitter. Though he's done less so recently, since Trump won, basically. Or since he got ousted from the cabinet, basically. And number three is I think that to an extent they recognize the fact that Tesla's prestige as a brand is tied very heavily to Musk. Didn't he also threaten them previously? Yeah, well, that's just finance for you. Tesla's never paid a dividend. It's all about fake share price. I mean, it's all fake. It's all fake, dude. Like it is impossible to overstate the degree to which the entire economy is fake, And that's not lefties always they overstep their mark, okay? What I would say isn't that the economy as a concept is fake, because it's not. What I would say is the financialization of the economy is the making fake of the economy. I think that the more an economy becomes financialized, the less it has to do with anything in the real world. And that's pretty much, that's tautological, basically. That's definitional. The more the economy just becomes about doing money games and not about making and selling things, the more abstract and immaterial it becomes. There are economic considerations to take seriously, right? Like the layoffs. That's a real thing. That's a real thing that should be taken seriously, Marx literally predicted this, of course. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, sir. Though Marx could not have anticipated the degree to which this bullshit would go bananas. So he was. If he was around today, I'm sure he'd write something great in it. I'm afraid that he did, in fact, die a while ago. So it's gotten pretty crazy. It's gotten pretty crazy. I think Marx could have easily anticipated Labubus. I disagree with you guys on that one. I do disagree on that one. Would you say any element of the fake economy benefits the general public? No, definitionally, I'd say it can't, because if the more of the collective finite wealth sum is put in the financial block, the less it benefits the real people. Like they are directly antithetical. I think that real people benefit from the labubu. At least the labubu is a physical object which is produced, marketed. Money has to exchange hands and circulate in the real world to produce labubu, That's a real thing. It's a trite and commercial and consumerist and so on, but whatever. So are you, At least it's not financialization. So what's a real GDP? I don't think there's any such thing as real GDP in the way that you're referring to. Why is Katie Wilson losing? Well, historically, the votes get more progressive over time. It takes 4 to 5 days for these votes to really get counted. That being said, it is true that the vote drop that came out yesterday was not very good. It actually was slightly more conservative, more trending towards Bruce Harrell than the first day's drop, which is interesting and, to my knowledge, unprecedented. It seems unlikely that trend will continue. If it does, then Bruce Harrell will win with a blowout. We'll see how things go over the coming days. I'm not talking about it because I genuinely have nothing to say. There's no play-by-play that I can do with the information, Is there a single 5-year-old counting or some shit? I do not know why it takes so long to count all the votes.